Warning, this episode contains spoilers for Bridgerton, potential spoilers for the Pitt, and also contains talk about medical distress. Hello and welcome to The Freeman, a podcast of the Toledo, Oregon Public Library. My name is Sophia.
I'm Harrison.
And I'm Cindy.
And we're here to talk about, we're here to talk about our favorite, I'm doing my best, okay? Gosh. We're here to talk about our favorite things and things that we've been learning about, reading about, watching. What's going on in your life? That's today's episode, in addition to our normal announcements.
Yes.
So, with that said, we have new news. New month, new news, new programs, new events. Here we are. Okie dokie. So, this month, we have two programs that are where you can stop by and grab something at the front desk. The first is Library Lovers Month. So you come by, you grab a bingo card, you complete a bingo with 5 challenges and turn it in for a prize. If you get a blackout, there's a very special prize. So come to the front desk, grab your bingo card. And then while you're at the front desk, also grab a packet of Za'atar for Spice Club, because we're going to have a community potluck with dishes made with Za'atar. So grab your packet while they're available at the front desk. And then at the end of the month, we're having a kids and teens workshop where we're making slime on February 21st from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. That's going to be very fun. And then on the 28th, we have Steam Saturday from 2:30 to 3:30. And this month, we're extracting strawberry DNA, which is going to be great.
Yeah, sounds cool.
I want to combine mine with frog DNA.
Ooh, and then
create a strawberry dinosaur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can come by first on the 28th from 1 to 2 p.m. for Spice Club for a community potluck. So you can fill yourself up with this Za'atar, come back with a full belly, and make your frog strawberry combo.
Yeah, there you
Boom.
go.
Yeah.
Science.
Yes.
That Za'atar smells great. We had one of our board members here prepping the baggies, and there's going to be a lot of cool stuff.
Also, Sophia found some recipes.
I did.
So you can pick up a little flyer that has a bunch of different recipes on it, so that can get you started thinking about how to use it.
Yes.
But the internet's great for that, too.
Mm-hmm.
We
Lots and lots of stuff.
Woohoo!
All right.
All right.
We are good to go. What do we have for beverages today?
Okay, so we are round 2 cream soda. We
have tried so hard.
Okay, so Dr. Pepper cream soda, not a hit. So I was in Safeway, picture it, and I was shopping for Paint and Sip.
Not Trader Joe's this time.
Not Trader Joe's. I was at Safeway. And I was shopping for my Paint and Sip program, and then I saw this cream soda for 97 cents, and I was like, I hope it's good, and maybe it can be like, it can be the one. Maybe it'll be really great, and we'll have a really great cream soda.
Maybe. My hopes have been lifted before.
The color is promising. It looks the way I would expect.
Cream soda, for sure.
I was choosing between this or the, what's that one? It comes in a glass bottle. It's dark brown. The Thomas Weinhardt.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Weinhardt's.
Oh, yeah, Weinhardt's. So they had those. They had orange cream soda. They had all kinds of good flavors.
They are good.
And I was like,
They are good.
should I get those or should I get this? And I chose this.
This is Teddy's. Teddy's cream soda. I'm assuming from the picture it's Teddy Roosevelt.
Is it Teddy Roosevelt?
Do you think it's Teddy Roosevelt?
No. He's got the hat, but I think that's he wants to be Teddy Roosevelt.
Maybe it's
different.
like a cowboy.
Yeah.
So, okay.
He's not a rough rider. He's a smoothish rider, perhaps.
Yeah. Does it smell good?
It does. It smells like cream soda.
This is promising.
Oh, but it sounds really good too.
Ooh, yeah.
It's got that head on it, like it should have.
Oh, with the foam? Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
So
yeah.
I have to tell you, there's a store in a little town called Galena, Illinois. And Galena is like this really quirky little town. It's the home of General Grant lived there. Anyway, there is a shop that carries hundreds of kinds of root beer, cream sodas, all in glass bottles, and you can go and fill a 6-pack.
Nice.
So fun. We used to do that quite a bit when I lived there. Man. Oh, it smells good.
It smells really good. It smells like vanilla.
It reminds me of the butterbeer I tasted in Universal Studios. All right.
Okay, ready?
Cheers.
Salud. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not real assertive. It's just
not.
a good.
Just yummy.
It's mellow. It's good.
It's a cream soda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice warm hug in a soda.
With fizz.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, good pick. 97 cents,
97
too.
cents.
And that's a big bottle.
Yeah.
Finally, something we like.
Finally.
We've been striking out for the last month. Man.
I'm so happy.
We have to redeem ourselves after all of that. So.
I just, okay, so I was thinking like new news. We got cool things going on. And I just want to give a special shout out. We're heading to pick up a grant from the Siletz Tribal.
It's the Siletz Tribal Charitable Contribution Fund.
Yes, we got a $10,000 grant for new library shelving, so we're going to pick that up.
Yeah.
So shout out to Harrison for putting that together, and we're going to go pick it up tonight. So I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the giant check.
Yes.
I really am. I've never had one.
We're very grateful to the Siletz Tribal Charitable Contribution Fund. This is going to let us really get working on our shelving project, do a lot all in one move, which is great.
Right. And the Westerns won't fall off the
anymore.
They will not attack you in the aisle. Kind of scary over there, but we also want to thank our public works guys because they did come in and stabilize those shelves before we got the grant, and now we are all looking forward to getting our shelves and huge thank you to the Siletz tribe.
Woo! Okay.
All right.
Okay, here we are. So we're here to talk about things that we've read, things that we've watched, things that we're currently obsessed with.
It's always something.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm obsessed with anything just right now, but there's lots of things. I think I'm so eclectic in what I like and what I don't, and I get like on a series, and now I'm at the end of one series, and I'm like that moment when you go, there's no more books to read, and then I'm a little upset, and I'm like, okay, I have to find something else to do because my book series the author needs to get off their can and write another one.
Yeah.
It's worse when they're dead.
Although that doesn't stop all of it.
That's right. It does not. It does not.
Some of them write way more after they die than they did when they were alive.
That is correct. Yes. Well, anyway, so you want me to go first?
Sure, you can go first.
Okay. So I have been on I was trying to think, I haven't been obsessed with really anything. I will, we watch more streaming than we do anything else, but we do have cable. And so there's a couple shows, on cable that we watch, and then there's streaming. And then I usually get videos because I'll see something on another DVD and I'll go, oh, that looks interesting. Mm-hmm. Or I see a clip, of one of the shows on internet or something. And I picked up this show. So there's a series that we have in the library called the Father Brown Mysteries. A lot of you probably have watched them. I have, the ginger ale is like
the cream soda.
Not ginger, the cream soda made me burp. So Father Brown is a long-running series. It's loosely based on the book of short stories by G.K. Chesterton. He is a long dead author. very prolific, but he mystery writer. And so he wrote this series of short stories, and then somebody went, oh, those would make a good TV series. And so in 2013, somebody came up with the Father Brown mystery series, and it's proved to be very popular, and it's in its 14th season. So it's been around a long time. And the main character in this is a crime-solving priest, Father Brown. It's a typical English countryside murder mystery, and it's set in the 1950s, okay? Mm-hmm. But then in the first season, a character, Sister Boniface, was introduced as a forensic criminologist who is a nun. And so I started watching the Sister Boniface mysteries.
I didn't know that was a spin-off.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, but it's set in the 60s, which is kind of cool. So Sister Boniface is a Catholic nun who came across Father Brown in his series, and I'm gonna take home this first season of Father Brown because I want to watch the episode she's in. And the series is set in England during the early 1960s. Sister Boniface is a Catholic nun at St. Vincent's Convent set in the fictional town of Great Slaughter, which I think is really appropriate for a murder mystery. Great Slaughter, in the Cotswolds, which were used as a location in Father Brown. In addition to her religious duties at the convent, she makes wine, and she has a PhD in forensic science, allowing her to serve as a scientific advisor to the local police on investigations. Mm-hmm. Okay, now, the sister, you learn all about her in this 3 seasons that I've watched, and there's a 4th season that should be out that I'm gonna get all 3. We have the first season, but I'm gonna get all of them for our library because they're so funny. She also was a code breaker, we learn, at Bletchley House during the war, and she is a champion chess player. She's a mathematician, very much, very, 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 very smart. Very smart. We are introduced to her friends, the policeman, Detective Inspector Sam, who is like handsome, playboy type, kind of dates around, but he is secretly in love with a reporter. Then we meet Felix, a policeman who's from Bermuda, who accidentally kind of gets dropped into Great Slaughter thinking he's going to be in London, but he's not. And Peggy Button is a young police constable, and she's probably, early 20s, and she's kind of wholesome and cute, and, So this show just is really fun. It's very, very quirky, but it's quirky because she's quirky. Sister Boniface is very quirky and eccentric. She's brilliant, but she's kind of awkward. Mm-hmm. The actress who plays her is so cute, and she's got this, I'm going to pass this because you can see her face. She's got this most expressive face.
Yeah.
And she's, of course, in a full habit, and that's all you see ever is her face. And it's so funny the way that this comedian has just built this character with very little except facial expressions. So she navigates the world of very brilliant men who underestimate her, except for Sam, the detective sergeant. The best part of this whole show is the ensemble cast. It's so great together. And you can tell that there's chemistry between the love interest. There's this kind of ongoing, the police have very great respect for her, at least Sam and Felix, the 2 police officers. But other people just underestimate her, and they just, she's just a nun. Why is she here? And she just blazes a trail right through that. She's very kind. She's not brassy or pushy, but she just ignores people. The nuns, so she's in a convent, and she has a couple of little nuns that help her, and then Mother Superior. Mother Superior is cranky and very unhappy. She feels that Sister Boniface should not be working with the police because that's unbecoming a nun, but she does it anyway. Then there's little Sister Peter, who is the funniest her facial expressions are amazing too. And she's kind of a ditz, but she's also brilliant. She just doesn't know it. Mm-hmm. And she's played by this really amazing actress, Tina Chang. Sister Boniface is played by comedian Lorna Watson, who is such a good comic actress. She was in the IT Crowd. Mm. She was on a Great British Bake Off special. Mm-hmm. She was in Midsummer Murders. And then she also, which I did not know, is the author of a children's book called Rabbit on the Rampage, which makes me want to find it. It's really fun. In a typical episode, something will happen. Sister Boniface is either there or she gets called in, and she notices, she's very observant, and she notices things, and she has a very, she always says when she gets like going in her head, and they'll show you, she kind of has this imagination. So like this acting troupe comes to town, and she like sees herself as an actress on the stage, but she's in her habit and she's doing like Hamlet. I don't know what she's doing. She'll say bingo. And then we know that she's figured out something. She's just the way they play off of each other, and she drives a motorcycle, a little scooter with a sidecar. So she always is the driver. So the men have to get in the sidecar because they just hop in with their little helmets on. Everything is set in the 1960s, and the sets are so good. The costumes are so much fun for someone who likes that. I like to see that kind of fashion and remember, because I was alive in the 60s, remember kind of what it was like, and the kind of just how it's changed so much, but also there's things happening in at that time in England and in the U.S. At that time, the women's movement, the women want to have careers, but there's this kind of, there's women who are in their 40s up, I would say 40s up, who are like, no, you need to stay home, you need to get married, blah, blah, blah. And then there's the younger women are like, we don't want to do that anymore. And you can see that they've played into that history at that time when women's skirts were getting shorter, and they were going to college, and they were doing the things that they were at the start of the women's movement. And there's some very great side characters in there, some older ladies who just fawn all over Sam, the detective. They think he's just so handsome, and they take care of him. And, there's a whole lot of really great character actors in there too. This is just a really well done series. It's not preachy. It's not like, look at what we should have done or we should have done. It's not like they're taking now the things we know now and putting them on the things that happened in the 60s. They're very honest about the way the 60s were.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because it's a period piece.
Yeah.
And you meet her parents, who are brilliant musicians, and she's a mathematician, and it's like this. They're like so disappointed because she can't play music. And her sister is a brilliant musician who plays in concert halls around the world. And then Sister Boniface has joined the nunnery. And it's just this, her parents, you can tell they're just so disappointed in her. And she handles that with grace and a conviction of what she's done that is the right thing. They're not very complicated mysteries, so you're not going to get like lots of intrigue and twists and turns, but you are going to get enough that maybe you don't know what happens until like the aha moment that everybody has in the show. Oh. So that's kind of nice, because I don't like to think too hard when I'm watching. I don't want to be going, who did it? And I never guessed like way ahead, but by the time the show was wrapping up, I'm like, oh, I see how we got there. It reminds me a lot of other great shows, other great ensemble shows. It reminds me in characters in many ways of The Big Bang Theory, with the nerdy person who doesn't quite fit in and is pretty awkward, and yet everybody needs that person to kind of, their world kind of blends with them. It's like Friends, because they are all found family for many of them. This is my family. Midsummer Murders, where you see the police play off of each other, the coroner, and it's just a really great ensemble cast. And you do get invested in the characters and what's going to happen next to that character, and what's going to happen with the love story, and what's going to happen with, like one of them is the poor little Peggy is pursued by this really horrible nerdy boy that she just is like, I don't want to hurt his feelings, but he won't leave me alone. And so you see that kind of thing happening, and it's just, you get to know the characters and care about them. Another thing that's cool about it is that I loved CSI when it was on. I watched all of the different iterations of CSI. And the crime scene forensic stuff is amazing in there. It's so much technology. This is not. This is 1960s forensics. And so she has to rely on books, on knowledge of her own memory. She has an eidetic memory. And then her curiosity about things and trying things and doing things to see what happens. And then the science that she knows. And she has set up her lab in her winemaking, where she makes wine, because wine is just science. She's not a good winemaker. And that's a kind of a running gag throughout the whole thing. But she loves the science. And so it's kind of cool to see her using a microscope, or Bunsen burners, or eyedroppers, cloth gloves, not latex. It's just this, like, for a while, I would watch it and go, well, they're picking something up without gloves on, and she would be like, put these on, to the policeman. But they didn't have DNA testing.
Or you pick something up with a pencil. That's when you're a real crime scene investigator. Look at that.
Got to do that pencil thing. And so it's really interesting, because if you're interested in that kind of science of yesteryear and what was happening, and how we got to where we are now with the immense amount of technology that we have.
Is it in the tradition of a fair play mystery type of thing, or is it more of a procedural investigative thing? Or what like the story structure? I'm just wondering, is it
fair play? What do you mean by fair play?
So a fair play mystery is one of those. I think Agatha Christie is known for those, where it's like all the clues that reveal the perpetrator are in the narrative up to a certain point. So, and then they're kind of tied together by the protagonist or that at the end, as opposed to one where it sort of drops a big revelation on you, and the reader or the viewer doesn't have a way of solving the mystery until the big...
I would say it's more fair play. So you see what she sees. I think there's leaps where you miss, you might miss she makes it in her mind, but you don't necessarily see it on the screen.
Right.
But I think so. If you paid really close attention, there's always something you don't know about someone, and that kind of, so there's things like, well, I watched one, and this isn't really giving it away, I don't think. I watched one, it was their Christmas special, and it was actually very funny, because the way they played off the three other nuns that had stayed home. It's snowing, they get stuck on a train in the snow. There's a girl there, they don't know who she is, she won't talk to anybody, she's young, like really young, and you find out that she is pregnant, and then you find out there's a stowaway, and then you kind of put two and two together. Oh, the stowaway is probably her boyfriend, the father of her baby, and she's been. So then you find out. So kind of step by step, you get revealed who this is, and then it all kind of ties together at the end to create this Christmas story, and it's just a really. I would say it's fair play to the point where you could, if you really paid attention, you could probably figure it out.
And I like the procedural kind of ones too, where it just sort of drips out little bits of information
I think there's both
the way.
Of those too. So the procedure is, you find out when she does that, oh, this is this kind of science, or this is, what is this substance that I found? And when you find out, if you know what that, and when she tells you, if you know what it is, you can kind of go, oh, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but it's just really fun to watch, because it's fun to see that what we would think of like as archaic now, that science, but to see the science and think about how people, they learned more by trial and error and blowing up their chem labs than they did about computer modeling. Mm-hmm. How to model it on a computer is very different than trying it and have it go poof and then go, oh, wait, maybe not mm-hmm. that chemical, and so there was so much more trial and error, I think, like actual physical human trial and error mm-hmm. to create the kind of science that we have now, the forensic science mm-hmm. we have now.
That makes sense.
Anyway, it's a good show. It's not heavy. It's definitely lighthearted. And she's just so funny, but all of the characters have their moments of just, and Sam Gillespie is not bad to look at. So there you go. My review is over.
I learned so much, and I want to watch it. It sounds really good.
I think I'll knock mine out because I feel like I'll be one of the opening acts for this because Sophia has a graph. Sophia is our headliner today.
I'm invested.
And I just have a couple of things on mine. I was out sick for a chunk of this week, so I spent some time in bed covered in cats watching YouTube. I watch a lot of like theme park history YouTube channels. And, as a break from like true crime and stuff like that,
that makes sense.
I like watching like defunct theme parks and theme restaurants, things like that. So a while ago, many episodes ago, I discussed the Star Trek experience at the Las Vegas Hilton that had a Borg attack 4D theater experience that was very uncomfortable, that we rode, my wife and I, several times to get our money's worth.
Mm-hmm. Like 4D experience.
Yeah. So I watched this history retrospective of that ride, of that experience, themed area of the Las Vegas Hilton, how it was developed, mm-hmm. its whole operational history. I learned apparently we were there in, I think it's closing year. Like the last year it operated. So I don't know if we were at its peak when we were there, mm-hmm. but they had people in costume doing characters, help as part of the live ride show. Mm-hmm. So I watched this thing and they had footage of the closing event, the last day of operation, when they were shutting the whole thing down, mm-hmm. and they were recognizing all of their cast members mm-hmm. who did all the audience interactions. And they gave a special award to this one lady who had been there the whole 10 years. And she teared up at the end. They gave her a Starfleet medal. And it was nice. And it was cool to see that this thing that we had just this kind of underwhelming, weird day with when it was not quite what we were anticipating. Mm-hmm. Just seeing that all those things, all those experiences, there are people invested in there making it special. So after watching that, I can't speak for my wife, but I forgive the Las Vegas Hilton for punching me in the butt 3 times.
Wow. Yeah.
But,
what a ride.
but yeah, it's kind of cool seeing the, behind the scenes on things. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing that I learned. Mm-hmm. The other that I just learned today, because we've talked a little bit about me trying to learn the drums a little bit and mm-hmm. fits and starts. Mm-hmm. I just read that Pete Sandoval, Pete the Feet, the commander, was diagnosed formally with autism at the age of 61. So he's done a couple of interviews and saying that it makes make sense of some things. And, for those who don't know, Pete Sandoval is a legendary death metal drummer. He was the drummer for Morbid Angel, Terrorizer. He's currently in a band called I Am Morbid with a couple other guys from Morbid Angel who just perform like the early Morbid Angel songs. And I know he's had a lot of like self-discovery stuff throughout the years in his career, in his personal life. He had a big religious conversion years ago, I remember, and it's just kind of neat seeing, at age 61, we never stop learning about ourselves. And he's he's a big deal in what he does. He's Morbid Angel's a Tampa band. He's from El Salvador originally, and he's definitely in like the pantheon of Florida men, right? And death metal drummers, one of the progenitors of the blast beat. And so that was just kind of cool to see that it turns out the guy who has built a decades-long career out of counting patterns really, really fast, turns out he's autistic. Who would have thunk it?
He can do it.
So that's always cool to hear when somebody that you admire a lot is learning more about himself. Who knows where he'll go from here? He's still doing his thing out there.
61 is not old.
Nope.
No.
And he's had 40 some years of doing what he does. I'd love to see him someday because I'm sure he's better than ever.
Yeah, I can't imagine the amount of his body remembers, because if you play something for so long, what do they call that? Where I can sit down at the piano and not, if I don't think too hard, I can actually play songs I played as a kid.
Yeah.
Muscle memory?
Muscle memory that must go into drumming.
Oh, yeah.
Just that you sit down and, and then for those of us who cannot do it, I had a drummer, this kid from my school who I really like, shout out to Nathan. He came and drummed was on the drum set for church. And I'm like, I said, hey, with this song, could I get like a boom chuck, boom chuck. And he's like, sure. And I'm like, and he did it. And I went, is that what they call it? And he's like, no. I'm like, and now I want like that, in between the measures, like da-da-da-da-da-da, and he's like, okay. And I'm like, that's not what they call it though, right? And he's like, no. So,
there is
I know what I want, but I don't have any idea how to do it.
There is that different kind of magic, and I think we've talked about this before, when you see like some 20-year-olds who are working really hard at their music and they're barely holding it together, and man, they're pulling it off. And then there's the other kind of magic when you see that same band or a group of them together 40 years later, and they've got it down to the point that it's just comfortable for them because they've been playing together for decades, which I'm sure it's like with Pete Sandoval, David Vincent, all of them. Both things are great in their own way, and just there's a comfort in that, in that sameness, but I can also see where it would be a burden. Because people have a view of a band like, I don't know what, Queen, I guess, because they've replaced Freddie Mercury, but just that you want to hear the old songs, but there must be a desire to do new stuff too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so there has to be kind of a balance, I think, where you do some of the old stuff and some of the new and try to make that new stuff old stuff. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. And then it is a weird situation like with Morbid Angel, where it's like, I think Morbid Angel continued on, and then their old members formed a separate band that just plays the first 3 albums songs.
Right.
Oh.
Something's going on there.
Yeah.
I'm not super tuned into that situation, but drama. Yeah. But anyway, so that's all I had is Star Trek Las Vegas experience physically hurt me, and then I feel I appreciate it, the work that went into it, and Yeah, Pete Sandoval's autistic.
Oh.
And I wonder if that's like on the diagnostic criteria. It's like, if you ever played drums in a death metal band, it's heavily weighted. All right, so that's all I've got. I yield the floor to Sophia.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Sophia's got a chart.
I got a chart. Okay. I will start with Bridgerton because it's shorter.
Okay.
Shorter. Okay, so current obsession Bridgerton. I binge watched season 3 in preparation for season 4. Where Colin and Penelope, this is not a spoiler, but they get together, they get married, and but it's about the journey of like how they get there, right? And then it's like all this drama about okay, so Penelope is Lady Whistledown, and Lady Whistledown has a column that goes out to the Tun, which is the town, and it's all the gossip. You know, she can bring people down with her gossip. And then the Queen Charlotte, is invested in the gossip, you know, and she reads it religiously. And so, but then there's this, so she's anonymous, obviously, but there's this tension of like, she's found out, and it causes tension between her and her friend. They lose their friendship over the gossip because she gossiped about her friend, which is unkind. And then more people found out. And so there's like blackmail of like, oh my God, I'm going to get outed as Lady Whistledown, and it feels like my life is over. I'm kind of spoiling the season. I'm really sorry. If you haven't seen it right now, that's on you.
We'll put a spoiler alert in the show notes.
Yeah, there you go.
So anyway, so there's this whole like, oh my God, I'm getting blackmailed. People are going to find out I'm Lady Whistledown. What's going to happen to us? And this is as she's getting married. She's engaged to her fiance, Colin, and then he is anti-Lady Whistledown. He's like, if I ever know who she is, she's going down.
Oh, no.
And here he is, engaged to Lady Whistledown. It's like,
dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. She's like, oh my God, I need to tell you something. Right? And then he's like, oh, stuff happens. He's like, what, my love? What did you have to tell me? And she's like, oh, no, I just love you, you know? And
Never mind.
You'll never know. But then it all resolves beautifully. I'll leave that, how it all goes down. I'll leave that out. But it resolves beautifully. She's out as Lady Whistledown. And so and then she has a baby.
What?
They get married. They have a beautiful baby. And that's how the season ends. And you're like, oh, this is so great. She's out. She can be free as Lady Whistledown. She's married. She's got her baby. Happy ending. Wonderful. So, season 4, part 1 just dropped. And so I've been working my way through the episodes. We watched episode 3 last night. I kind of fell asleep. So I might have to rewatch it. I don't know. But I feel like I got the gist of it. So maybe I don't need to go back. But this one is about Benedict Bridgerton. And he is there's 8 children, 7 or 8 children. So sorry for not knowing the exact number. There's a million of them. So he's the second son. So like this is set in the 1800s, right? So you're of society. And the first son is when his dad died, he took on the dad's title. So the second son doesn't have as much responsibility.
He gets nothing.
He can... I almost said some curse words. He can fiddle fart around and dilly-dally. And that's what he does. That's what we find him doing, dilly-dallying a lot. But the term they call him, which is a term of the time, is a rake.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's you can Google that.
I've gathered just from the titles of our Regency era romance novels, high rake period.
Yeah. Yeah, but the men can do it, but then the women are shamed. And if the women are found out, then their lives are ruined, but the men can do whatever they want. Yep. And there's so much pressure.
And if a man is going to be a rake properly,
it takes two to tango.
It takes two, yeah.
Well, why does the women bear all the shame?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
questions for society.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
So here we are. So anyway, there he is being a rake. And his mom's like, when are you going to find love, Benedict Bridgerton? And so she throws a masquerade ball, and his mom forces him to go. And then he sees her. Oh my God, this woman at a masquerade ball. Who is she? I don't know. And it's love at first sight for him. But then he has a hard time finding. I'm spoiling the season again. It's like Cinderella. It's like this. My husband and I were just talking about this last night. That it's like a Cinderella-esque. Mm-hmm. So he's set about the town to find her. And then her evil stepmother, and with her two.
Gotta have one of those.
Yeah, gotta have one of those. She has two half sisters, and then her dad died, her mom died, and so she's in the house of her stepmother with her two half sisters, where she works as like a servant without pay. And her stepmother says, like, oh, this is me being generous to you. You have
remarkably like Cinderella.
Remarkably. And then so there he is, Benedict Bridgerton, going about the town, trying to find his lady. And then he goes to the stepmom's house to talk to the sisters. And he figures out it's not her. Neither of them are her. But then the stepmom, with all the info she's getting, she puts two and two together because she's wicked smart. And she figures it out. And her name's Sophie. Sophie gets kicked out. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Terrible. So then they get separated, or like she has to go find work elsewhere, right? And so then he's kind of looking for his love, still hasn't found her. Doesn't know where she is, but he saves the day at a party because she's about to get assaulted by a man at a party, and he's like knight in shining armor and saves her. And now I'm at the part where they're like getting to know each other.
Does he know it's her?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, does he?
Maybe you should leave that for people who haven't seen it.
I can't remember. I kept falling asleep. Does he? I think he knows that it's her. I'm pretty sure. But they're getting to know each other. But I think what the tension is their difference in statuses in society. Not servant. What are they? I get maid. Mm-hmm. People who serve you of the house keep telling her to remember her place in society. Don't be too familiar with this man, even though he's trying to be familiar with you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we are.
He'll never be allowed to marry someone who is not of a certain status.
Yeah. So I haven't watched episode 4 yet. So there's 4 parts in part 1, and then part 2 drops at the end of February. So I'll keep you abreast of the situation.
All right.
But anyway, I love
that's the only way I'm going to watch it if Sophia explains it to me.
Right. I'll tell you what you need to know. But I do fast forward through all the like spicy parts. I'm like, yep, that happened.
Not a lot of exposition during those scenes.
And sometimes there's a whole 10 minutes of episode that she gets to watch.
No, I mean, the first season 1 was, oh my God, it would take me a really long time to get through the spicy parts. I'm like, oh God, we get it.
We see it.
I saw it. I seen it.
You got to play yakety sax while you fast forward through.
I know what I need to know. So yeah, that's Bridgerton. Current obsession.
Do they track with the books? I wonder how closely they follow the book series, or if it's like Game of Thrones, where the TV show is going to overtake the narrative of the books.
No, there's a lot of books. A book for each child. Their love story, but Reddit says that the books and the show differ. They have taken creative liberties, I think, for the sake of the show, the format.
So the books came first.
Yes. Yep.
I didn't even know there were books.
Yeah. We have some of the books.
Yeah.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's a whole series. Julia Quinn.
Oh.
I've shelved them so many times at different libraries.
I had no
romance,
idea, which obviously you know, my reading goes to the mystery, so and not to read romance. I have enough romance in my life.
That's right. Who needs more?
That's right.
Romance, that's for fools.
Wow.
I'm joking. Just joking.
Don't talk to Sophia about Valentine's Day. Just avoid it.
Anyway, moving on from love, we have
sublime to the horrible.
Intense. Okay, here we are. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay, The Pitt. Obsession number 2. Here we are. What was I doing? I binged it. I know. Football is coming to a close. The big game is this Sunday.
Yeah.
So there I was on a Sunday without any football, and I was like, what am I gonna do? So
Wow.
I love football. Okay. So I started watching The Pitt, and every episode is an hour of the shift, you know, which like so much stuff happens. And I'm like, how are we only an hour into the day and like 10 big things have happened? Like, this is exhausting, you know, but it's gotten glowing reviews that where healthcare workers say like this is very realistic. And this is pretty close to like what happens. And it's like a good showcase of the healthcare world.
And for people who don't know, because I don't think.
People who don't know. Okay, so people who don't know, The Pitt is about an emergency room in Philadelphia? Pittsburgh. I'm trying to remember the name of the state. PA. Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Sorry.
There you
In
go.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
And it's an ER show, and they call colloquial nicknamed The Pitt. Okay, so I brought out an organizational chart of all the characters in the show because it's a lot to keep straight. You know what I mean? All the peoples. So maybe I won't name everybody.
Did you?
It's a very
this.
No, I found this. Thank you, Reddit, for
Somebody put that together.
Yeah, it says I think maybe HBO Max put this together.
It looks like a competitive Pokemon reference sheet of some kind. It's all the characters graphed out in relation to each other in some way that Sophia will, I'm sure, explain to us.
Okay, so
Here we go.
okay, Noah Wiley, is that how you say his name?
Yes.
Very handsome man. He is the chief attending physician, so he's like the main character of the show. And so he's the chief attending physician over all the doctors and student doctors and residents and interns over all these people. So he's a driving force. Mm-hmm. And then there's a lot of other side characters who, you know, just round it out like a good ensemble cast. And there's also so he plays Dr. Robbie. And then I think another shout out is the charge nurse. Her in the show, her name's Dana Evans. I can't remember the name of the actress. Oh my gosh. It is evading me. But she's wonderful. And she does a really good Pittsburgh accent. And she's just very believable as the charge nurse. It's wonderful. A special shout out also to Princess and Perla, who are Filipino nurses, and they speak in Tagalog. They do like gossip, you know, they gossip with each other in Tagalog. And so you get those little tidbits throughout the show, and it provides a bit of levity. I think my favorite character is Dr. Trinity Santos. She's an intern or resident. And so also the first season, this is a lot of these student doctors and their some of these residents, it's their first day.
Oh, their first day of their rotation. ER.
Yeah.
Oy.
So very intense. There's a student doctor who's in her 3rd year of medical school, a student doctor who's in his 4th year of medical school. And so Dr. Trinity Santos, she's finished medical school, but now she's a resident, and this is her first day of her residency in the emergency department. She's a spitfire. She's very quick-witted. She heckles people. She gives them a really hard time. She gives people nicknames. She's just very, like, blunt and abrupt, and just, you know, but she's very smart. She backs it up with her knowledge, but she might rub people the wrong way with her abruptness. But I appreciate it. I love it. Love her. Who else? Dr. Melissa King, who's a 2nd year resident. I think she's just like very kind, very knowledgeable. You get the feeling that she might be neurodivergent. They don't outright say it, but you kind of, they kind of allude to it, which I think is really good representation. So, but they also have like social work, and they have like security, and they just show the dynamic between all the different like roles in the emergency room. So I appreciate it. And then there's so you think you get through most of the scene, you're like, oh my gosh, like this is so much, like they see so many cases per hour, and the waiting room is full, and you know, they only have so many beds, and they can't see everybody, and it's just, and you feel the tension, and you know, and they solve emergency after emergency. And then you just think like this can't get any worse. And then something really big happens. I won't spoil it. And you're just like, oh my God. And then that big thing happens. They go through it, and then they trade off to the night shift. And then after that, you're just supposed to go home. Just like your normal life. Like you just experience this big, huge thing. And then what? You just go home? That's crazy. So now we're in season 2. It's a couple of episodes in. One doctor didn't come back, Dr. Collins. She was a senior resident. I think I missed why she hasn't come back yet. I don't know, but I hope that she does come back, because she was amazing and kind and wonderful. So, but anyway, that's where we are. That's my current obsession.
Cool.
Well,
I love it.
I Googled, just so you know, because this is important, if you are picky about what you watch. Noah Wyle won the Best Actor in a Drama for this show. Noah Wyle is one of my favorite actors. I watched him in ER back in the day. Watched him in The Librarians with his kind of comic stint, because it was kind of a comic role. Watched him in Leverage, this last reboot of Leverage. And then I also watched him in a show called Falling Skies. It's a sci-fi show, and it was a show that I have watched it through twice now. And it's really good. If you like science fiction, and it's a little dystopian, he plays a professor who has a wife and 2 kids, and aliens invade, and that's all you need to know. And it's just excellent. It's excellent. Yeah. And it's I don't know when it came out, but you can still get it. We can get it for you here at the library, and probably there's 1 or 2 copies across the nation we can hunt down for you.
Yeah.
But it is really good. And he's just a really versatile actor.
Yeah. I think he also directs and produces, if I'm not mistaken. So he really has a hand in all parts of the show and making sure that it's accurate as possible.
Yeah,
so,
I heard something that they made their actors go through like emergency medicine training.
Oh, I didn't know that, but they have like doctors on hand to like really walk them through like how, what they're supposed to be doing and like how to do it to make that look like it's very realistic. But also, special shout out, they had a category on Jeopardy last night where he read the clues. And I was like, it's a crossover of all my worlds, all my special interests in one.
So did they have them do like rotations in an ER, because I'm just picturing like bleeding in the ER and having a doctor or a nurse come in with like Noah Wyle tagging along.
Well, I'll read you what they did.
Okay, tell me what they did.
The cast of The Pitt, led by Noah Wyle, underwent an intensive weeks-long medical boot camp before filming to ensure high-stakes authenticity. Actors trained with medical professionals to master procedures like intubation, ultrasounds, and trauma, while also shadowing staff to experience the high-pressure, exhausting environment of a real ER.
It's got to be surreal to watch, like, especially Noah Wyle, I'm thinking, because there's a part of your brain that's going to register, oh, yeah, he's a doctor. And then you're like, wait a minute. He was a pretend doctor. Why? Right. What is this actor doing in here?
Right. And, you know, it reminds me, too, like the show in the 70s, Emergency, about EMTs in California. Mm-hmm. That's way before your time. It's on like the old TV shows. I watched it religiously as a child. I loved that show. And it was the same kind of way. A lot of the people in the show were actual firefighters.
Wow.
And then the two EMTs, played by Randy Mantooth was one of them. I can't remember the other guy.
That's a great name.
I know, Randolph Mantooth. He actually helped start the EMT programs in California because they didn't have them. Back in the 70s, firefighters were just like, had first aid. And then they started training EMTs to run on their own and made a huge difference in the way they provided emergency services. But it reminds me of that. And then we had talked, Sophia, briefly about one of our favorite people we follow, Dr. Beach Jam.
Oh, yes.
I don't know Dr. Beach Jam.
Dr. Beach Jam is a pediatric emergency room doctor. And as I understand it, she somehow, and I don't know how, but she got involved with the Pitt. I think she wrote a really cool thing about how realistic it was and how much she loved it. Yeah. And they kind of reached out to her and said, would you like to come to the season 2 premiere? Yeah. So she got to go and meet all the cast and stuff.
Yeah. She's amazing.
And she talks about being an ER. She's a mom. Man, if you follow her, it's Dr. Beach Gem. She lives in Florida. Mm-hmm. And they went through some flooding in their house and she had to, it's been crazy. Her family's gone through a lot, but she continues to work as an ER nurse or doctor. And she talks a lot about like when to bring your child into the ER, what to be worried about, and try to understand your doctor's perspective as they're trying to get this information from you that you need to be forthcoming with that. And so it's just really interesting.
Yeah, I was watching a video yesterday she was talking about like when to induce vomiting versus not when to induce vomiting.
Oh, right.
Oh, God, it made me so sad because she was talking about a kid who ingested lighter fluid. And it was okay going down, but it was not okay. When it came back up, it caused problems. They aspirated and then they didn't make it. And you could see her getting the tears were coming and I was like, oh God, like that's so horrific, Yeah. But you just have to keep going, Oh,
yeah. So I can't imagine having a job so intensive that it just shuts off at like 8 at night or whenever, so they go like maybe 8 to 8 and it just shuts off and you have to go home.
Yeah.
And what do you do with all the things that happen during the day?
Yeah, all that. So much
stuff is still going to be in process when you leave, it's one of those that I am glad there are people who have the motivation and the skills to do that because somebody's got to. I can't imagine like pediatric ER stuff.
She also has positive stories. I remember watching one where she had treated this little boy or child in the ER and she saw him like a year later and he was just thriving, and just how gratifying that was to see that they had caught whatever it was early enough that he would be okay.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So I think there's rewarding moments, but you're right, Harrison. I can't imagine the stress. I'm not built for that, but there are people who are able to do that. Thank goodness for them. Mm-hmm. I've been in emergency rooms and I'm always as a patient and as with a child in severe distress. And I'll tell you, the calmness, having somebody just be there. And I think the doctors are great, but man, I wouldn't have made it through so much stuff without the nurses, and just how much compassion, and even just someone putting their hand on your shoulder and saying, we're going to take care of him. We're going to be okay. And when we life flighted my son, this was years ago, we life flighted him because of a brain abscess, and they were headed to the helicopter, and the nurse that was going with him, she just turned to me, took my hand and said, we're going to take care of him. He'll be fine. And I was like, okay, I trust this person.
Yeah.
And, off he went into the helicopter, and he was fine. But just that moment that I needed that person to say the right thing and just to be confident when I was not.
Yeah.
That bedside manner is all important. I remember turned out to be a very minor thing. But when my daughter was about 4, she tripped and hit her forehead on a cinder block retaining wall. And it was one of those things that it was loud. Yeah. It was woo. Yeah. And it's a lot of bleeding because
it's a head wound.
Yeah. So, we took her to the ER just to make sure there was no, deeper injury, put my sweater on her forehead. And we got there and we were all nervous, she wasn't unconscious or anything like that, but it's still scary. But then we got back there, and I've got a great video. She's laying there. We had just gotten that reassurance that everything under there looks fine. We're not going to need to do anything. And she's laying there with this big, injury on her forehead. And she had seen it. She had been reassured, and she started laughing. And we're all looking at her, and then she looks us in the eyes and says, darn it. So I got this video of her with this gnarly looking head wound, and she's just laughing, going, darn it. She's sense of humor will get you a long way too. She had more of one than we did. We were nervous.
Yeah. I just remember my granddaughter had an asthma attack. She was about 4, and I have never seen people move faster. When I brought this child I was carrying her, and I brought her into the ER, and I said, she's really struggling to breathe. And man, somebody grabbed her and they ran. And by the time I got back there, she was in an oxygen tent, and she had a thing on, and she's looking at me like, Grandma, like, you're going to be fine. But just that automatic. It's like, when someone has a stroke, how fast they move. There's just the training and the skill is just, I'm very much in awe of that, and I appreciate that. So shout out to those medical workers. Yeah. We need you. Be kind to them, people.
Yeah. All right.
Well, now that we've admonished everyone about their medical stuff and told war stories, that's what we're doing lately.
That's it. That's what you missed on this episode of Toledo Public Library.
We'll catch you up next time.
We'll just open every episode with previously on the free bin. It gets longer every single time.
Right. Previously on the free bin, Sophia told us all about the Pitt. She's going to catch us up, and then we're going to hear about Bridgerton in case you missed the last one. Harrison's going to come up with some drumming stories, and Cindy will find you another mystery to watch.
Yep.
And those previously on, they'll spoil the episode too, because they'll show you which subplot's coming back in that episode. So
yeah,
right. It cuts both ways. Double-edged sword.
Here we are.
So put the spoiler warning on for this episode, Harrison.
So Bridgerton spoilers and also child medical injuries and yes.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Talk about everything here.
That's right. We do. All righty. Well, another one for the books.
See you next time.
The Free Bin is a production of the Toledo Public Library, which is part of the Lincoln County Library District in beautiful Lincoln County, Oregon. Writing by Cindy Bilek, Sophia Kahn, and Harrison Baker. Original music by Harrison Baker. Editing by Harrison Baker and Sophia Kahn. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect those of any organization they represent. Good night.